All right, we are back again with part 2 of the RPG mod. We're just gonna pick up where we left off. Yeah, so definitely had an interesting time in the beginning there. You know, the first half of this run here going through Octavian. So right now we're level 51. We're gonna work our way through the spider layer here because I figured at the time that, you know, level 51, that's pretty close to being, you know, by the time I got up to Angora, it should probably be pretty good, you know, be pretty close to a comfortable level. As you can see here, I hit 52, and we are just clearing out the eggs before we start. So we're going to go ahead and start this. I decided I was going to start trying to use pistols because I wanted to get more used to them. This run specifically, you know, by the end of this whole thing, I felt like, you know, I wanted to be a little more comfortable with pistols, so I definitely gained that most, you know, somewhat. I will say the one thing that I'm still kind of like struggling with a little bit is like the range, the specific range of the left click, like not knowing exactly where it ends, and that's the kind of thing that I think is super important. But so anyway, the halfway through, I kind of swapped off to Reaper here. This whole thing, you know, being 10 levels lower here, I was kind of concerned with making sure that I didn't just get absolutely roasted. So we just wanted to make sure that, you know, we played it safe here. And as you can see, I'm kind of just running around. When it comes to Angora and defeating Angora early or lower level, really what you're going to be doing, and if you're trying to survive, is just running around in circles and waiting for you know, these big attacks and the big AoE attacks, and you're kind of just running in between everything. Now, this is where Word of the Damned just becomes, I've said this a billion times, Word of the Damned is just such a huge deal for this fight. So yeah, after beating her, we obviously dinged here, hit level 53, and from there, you know, we were using mutant blood for a little bit, but from there, obviously, we wanted to go back and get our silk crafting, get our Dawnthorn going. So we were just working on that, had tons of mats that we ended up finding here, and just wanted to make sure that we had enough for the rest of the game. So with the silk crafting, I just took a little bit second here. I also just, you know, just want to take some time to plant a garden. I figured, you know, for me, gardens are super nice, specifically for like blood rose seeds. So we just planted a quick, you know, 5x5 little plot here. Got some of these ghost shrooms down, as well as some blood rose seeds as well eventually. And while the silk was crafting, I just decided that we needed to do a quick other run here. So I actually wanted to try something out. So I had such high mutant blood that I thought, you know what? I wonder if I can kill Raziel. Obviously, I didn't have enough mutant blood to get the holy resist up to not take any holy damage, but you see here I'm standing in the little spot that was like able to avoid the holy irradiation. And we go in and I saw that we were only taking about 3 damage ticks. So I said, you know what, why not? You know, this fight isn't really all that challenging from where I was. I was basically on level here. On top of that, I had, with the RPG mod, I kind of had like the Reaper bonus. I'm not even really sure how the Reaper stuff even works, like the weapon masteries, but it seemed like I was doing like pretty solid damage. It get a little zapped there with the laser for a bit. But yeah, so I figured I was doing a lot of damage with that and with spells, so it was just worth. I was like, I might as well just take the time here and beat him up a little bit here. Got smacked there. I used a great sword and just got destroyed for a second, but no big deal. We have health orbs, and yeah, okay, like I said, I'm taking 3 damage ticks, which can be kind of nerve-wracking, but for me, it was kind of just like, okay, well, make sure you don't die, and that should be fine, right? Oh, that was super annoying right there. I ulted, and right as I ulted to dash, he summoned one of his little pillars, little thingies. So anyway, we just keep hitting it with his stuff here. And pop the potion real quick, just to make sure that we don't get destroyed. Gets stunned here. He summons another one, but not really that big a deal. Block that. Again, you know, being able to block some of this stuff is really nice. It's really important to be able to do that. And he summons a second orbital laser. And we're about half HP here. So really, I'm not too concerned here, just as long as we have the ability to dash and stay mobile. And with that last bit of... Oh, there we go. I used Greatsword to try to get out of it. because I didn't have my dash up right at the moment. So there we go. And this last little bit of HP should be rather easy to take out with a Chaos Volley. So yeah, that was just like something I was like, that sounds fun. Let's go do that. Why not? Let's go try to take out Raziel with that high mutant blood. So super nice. Super easy stuff and just a fun little fight there. And from there, I was also looking for... Oh, yeah, I saw this guy. Yeah, that's what it was. This 100% creature. Found a 100% creature on the way back to base. And I was like, you know what? You know, we have 93% mutant, but we might as well take advantage. And by then I had that 40 silk, which was enough to make a full set of Dawnthorn. And also we were just getting our Scourgestone crafted. You can see here I have a giant stack of Scourgestone. And I wanted to make sure I had enough mats to get what I needed whenever, you know, to make that ghost yarn. So we went back to the Cursed Forest to get our Wanderer. So this is something that I think would be really interesting to you guys. In one of my other videos where I was running through the Cursed Forest without a shroud, somebody made a comment and was like, how are you even running? Like, is it just easier to see for some reason? They thought I had like a mod that made it easier for me to see in the forest. And I said, no, not really. I don't have a mod or anything. I actually just... What I do is, I don't know if other people may do this, but I find this to be a really good thing. So first of all, the Cursed Forest is basically just a big loop. And all you really have to do is know, you know, what I do when I first get into the Cursed Forest without a shroud is I mark a spot on the map where I know what that is. So whether that be like the cave location, a village, or the east teleporter, I mark that so I can see it on my screen and use it to orient myself while I don't have that shroud. And then I know, okay, well, if I marked the teleporter, if I go like south, if I keep that teleporter to my right and I'm walking south, then I know, okay, well, I'm just gonna, once I get to that road, I know where I am. So that's super useful to do that, you know, just to keep while you don't have that shroud. But anyway, once I had the shroud, killed the Wanderer. You know, as is tradition, we just went ahead and went after Falorot, and even though I was 57, he was 64. I mean, it's a 7-level difference, but this guy is just so easy to me. And again, you know, the way the RPG mod, I've also probably mentioned this multiple times, it just makes it very interesting, where I can have more HP. My damage seems like pretty decent. In this sense, you know, it seems like a round, maybe a little bit less than what I would normally be doing to him. But because I have like a full set of Dawnthorn and whatnot, it makes it feel like, okay, well, I can tank a few more hits, even though I'm, you know, a significantly lower level. It makes it a little bit more of an interesting fight. And that fight went so easily that I figured, you know what? Okay, I'm only level 58. But why don't we just keep going and push our way up through to the top side and fight Cyril? So here I, you know, got to 59, and we're just getting every single one of these containers, of course, because there's just so many good mats in these. And go ahead and set up. I like to use Word of the Damned here. I haven't really tried a whole lot else in this fight, but it just seems to me like kind of like the best thing to do in terms of like being able to block these projectiles. I mean, maybe you could use like Frost Barrier, or if you really wanted to, you could go fight like Angram or something. But I feel like just having this little bit of aggro draw to throw off Cyril as well as his summons just makes it a little bit easier to deal with. So, so went ahead and just smacked this guy like crazy. You'll see here we can use the shield to just absorb these orbs because those orbs are really annoying. And this whole fight is basically just one massive bullet hell. And then here you'll see we block his ult, his little ult move. Block it a couple times, makes it a little confusing, and then we ult him back. So this might not be the best use of this ult, and then he dodges it anyway, but you know, we try to make it work as best we can. So here I'm about, you know, a little bit above half HP, but yep, he just uses little slashers there. And again, that's what is the power of having Ward of the Damned and creating those skeletons, because he is such a slow moving enemy that like you kind of don't really have to worry if you can draw his aggro somewhere else. When he does his big attack, quote unquote, it just won't even go on you, and then it takes him forever to do anything else. So yeah, not too bad. And came back to base here, had like 80 something Scourge Stone. I figured that was going to be the most, you know, I was going to have all the Spectre Dust I could ever need. Threw down our anvils, made a couple silvers as brews because it was time to go up to the silver mine. Went ahead in here, got the chest here. And something I noticed while I was up here, very annoyingly, was that I hadn't actually gotten rat form. So when I got to the rat hole, I couldn't go in it. I was like, no, dude, I'm gonna have to come back for that. So, yep, we just did the usual, got our stacks of silver and killed Magnus. I mean, I was like level 60 something, so it wasn't really that under leveled. I personally think this fight is a very important thing to farm early on. Just because I mentioned this multiple times, you can actually get some really nice stuff from this. Gold, jewelry, and gems, and even like some good recipes. So on the way back, we stopped off at Meredith because I realized I didn't actually have the ability to craft holy resistance potions. And she's just so easy that, you know, I figured I might as well just do that. And here's the ding to level 62. So 62, that's a pretty respectable level, especially now that we're crafting dark silver. So from there, we just made some dusk collars because I realized that, you know what, I should probably make sure I have the ability to get high blood percentage back when I find it. And of course, took down the Petri rat because I realized, you know what, definitely need to make sure I have that to be able to revisit the rat hole. And then we just did a little bit of base expansion. I gotta be honest, dude, the being able to build bases like this is just so cool. Really enjoying that aspect of Gloomrot expansion. I know like everybody is, but it's just such a cool thing. And yeah, so here, just making sure our prison was a little bit bigger. We actually ended up moving it in a bit. Definitely, but since I only have the silver resistance potions, returned to the silver mine to get some more silver. I knew just one trip was not going to be enough for what I wanted to do. Went to the rat hole, didn't really get much loot, and then found, what do you know, 92% brute. So very fortuitous timing on the dusk collars as well as the extra prison cells. So now we had just that, you know, that one more blood type to pull from. And we all know those blood percentages. I honestly think the blood percentages, if you're, yep, you know, kill Magnus again, why not? I honestly think blood percentages, it's really important because they made it so easy to find and collect high blood percentages that you really should be making sure that you keep that in mind. And there's an example right there of why farming Magnus is a very good idea in my opinion. Because, you know, we just got a bunch of necklaces from him, which you're going to need a ton of. But I just got Amulet of the Arch Warlock. I mean, that's like, it may not, you know, it's up in the air of what the best necklace is, but that is definitely among the best necklaces recipes that you can get in the game. And I just got it from Magnus, so I'm set for the end of the game necklace. There's no reason for me to go if I don't want to, unless I want a very specific necklace. There's no reason for me to go around and get, you know, another recipe. And Magnus is just such an easy fight that for me, it's kind of like just make the pit stop, you know, go get a little more. Oh, check this out, by the way. Look at this ult. I believe this is an ult here. I was just running through that. Oh, no, mind. No, that was just, I was just running through those guys. There's like a billion guys there. But anyway, yeah, just make sure you're fighting Magnus whenever you get a chance. He really is an easy fight. And he's, especially as you level up to like in the 70s, he's just so simple to kill. So, yep, going through here, doing the Bright Haven farming run as is tradition. Just constantly spending all our time here and getting every single thing that we possibly can. I mean, you know? So here we have a bunch of Gold Sun, and I figured since I got a ton of Gold Sun here, that I might as well just stick around until I have enough to buy something, you know, buy some kind of recipe. Since I got that recipe there, I was like, well, I have 50 Gold Sun. That's like really good. So I might as well just stick around and, you know, get a little bit, get enough so I can buy something that matters. So here I was looking for the Greater Holy Resistance Potion. Couldn't find one. I bought a Witch Potion here because I was like, oh, I guess I could just buy one of those. And I thought, I'm like, oh, I'm stupid. What if I can't buy what I want from this guy? But no big deal. I was trying to decide what to get here. I was like, Sanguine Slashers, I'll definitely need those. And so I bought those because it's like, oh, I probably need those for like Adam. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Another thing that'd be really good to save me a lot of time would be Jeweled Chamber Floors. So even though it'd be nice to get like Blood Moon Chest Guard or Blood Moon Boots, for me, I was like, you know what? Let's just get the Jeweled Chambers Floors because that's a huge, you know, huge boost there. And then running on the back, all the way back home, I saw this wonderful little gem. Yet again, perfect timing on the Dusk Collars and increased increased prison cells. Finding a 100% rogue is basically the greatest thing you could possibly do in this game almost. I mean, there's a couple... it really just depends on what you're specifically trying to do, but 100% rogue is just like... Any 100% blood type is huge, but rogue is just really nice. Obviously, like warrior, scholar, brute, all of them are really good, but definitely love seeing that rogue. Can do a lot of damage with that thing. So yeah, this little area here in the vineyard can be kind of annoying, honestly, with the harpy summons. It just gets so old. It's just so annoying. Like sometimes I'm just like, like just having to deal with them is really obnoxious. It makes it kind of dangerous to, you know, get these blood types or whatever. If you're trying to get some grapes, you just keep fighting them over and over again. But no big deal. We made it work, got our silver, and from here I thought, okay, what am I going to do weapon-wise? I've been using the same weapons. You know, I stopped using the axes, you know, from iron. I kind of put them on the bench, or, you know. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Okay, I'm going to need slashers because I have that recipe. Probably want crossbow, probably want reaper, but I would want to use greatsword pistols. So I was like, let's just do these four. So yeah, we went slashers, greatsword, pistols, and then reaper. And from there, obviously, we're going to go straight to Baron. I'm level 64. You know, not the greatest level, but I have Dark Silver and full Dawnthorn and an upgraded necklace. It's time to do Baron, in my mind. So, honestly, I got dunked by this guy for a little bit. You know, he's definitely... If you get chained by barrels this low and you're taking... Even with the... It doesn't matter how much life you have. If you get chained by barrels, you get hit by one and then hit by another, then he hits you... It's pretty dangerous, you know, especially 6 levels lower. I think I got hit a total of like by 2 barrels and 1 hit by him, and that was my HP. So maybe 3 barrels, I can't remember, but I mean that's including the, you know, the health orbs he dropped. So you can see just how brutal that can be, the chain between like barrel. And after that, you know, I'm sitting at level 65. I figured, you know what? Oh, hey, here's the ult. Check out this ult. This is what we like, Crimson Beam. Oh yeah. Absolutely delicious. Just remove them from my screen. Thank you very much. Yeah, but from here I figured, you know, it's definitely time to, you know, 65, I believe, at this point. 65 or 66. Ziva, I was having trouble with her in the past couple runs because I didn't take the time to learn the fight. And I spent a lot of time fighting her this time, you know, since then. And I'm a lot more confident with that fight now. It really you spend a lot of time just running away from her, just kiting like crazy. Just keep as much, I mean, imagine that. You just follow the normal technique of just keeping as much distance as possible and hitting her that way. So from here, I figured, you know, while we're up here, we might as well just go ahead and get some tech scrap and batteries. And I found this wonderful... I think it's a 90% or 92% scholar pyromancer, so definitely a wonderful addition there. And then while I was up here as well, I was like, okay, this may sound crazy, but why don't we go for Henry Blackbrew? You know, I'm only 8 levels lower. That's not that terrible, and he's not all that difficult. So check out how the use of the ult here. You time it right as he's about to hit it, and look at this. You dash through, and then... easy. I mean, you can kind of just totally negate all those dashes from that. Obviously, watch out for the counter. The counter is very scary. But other than that, yeah, no big deal. It really was not much of a fight. I got hit by some lightning at the very, very end there. He did his little waves again. I didn't really have a lot to get away from it other than like pistols and great sword, but he just knocked me into the lightning a little bit. But anyway, got this ult here. I was like, ooh, nice legendary slashers, but resource yield. And I'm gonna be honest, every legendary I got except for one had resource yield with this entire run, which is just very annoying. But you know, whatever. You got to work with what you get. And from here, I had a nice level 3 gem or tier 3 gem for Chaos Barrier, and so I figured why not just kill Angram? I mean, I'm such a high level at this point that it just was not going to be even an issue. Had a giant inventory full of loot. Picked up some more mutant grease. And pick up some more stuff here. Why not? And as we come back to base here, get our Primal Blood Essence. And upgrade Castle Heart to tier 4. I just really like being able to get the horse. And you get your upgraded horse. I don't know if it's like absolutely the best call, like to really hyper focus, but it is such a massive upgrade for your mobility to just nonstop always have a horse. So I think it's probably worth it to make sure you can get that tier 4 castle upgrade. And also got a single gem or coin purse, because even having a small one is really all you need in this game. Just have a small one to carry around gold sun or silver when you pick it up on the ground, so that if you have a situation where you're like in the cursed forest, you have to use your shroud and don't have any silver resist, or in a situation where you have like maybe you farmed a bunch of silver and then you found gold sun and you don't want to like be over and start taking silver tick damage, you know, like in this situation here, it's nice to be able to pick up those coins and not have to worry about it. And as you saw, we also made the Athenium, just making our stuff ready. We are already pretty set here. I found the chest piece, Blood Moon chest, Blood Moon boots, I believe is what we're working with right now in terms of like what we have available. Then we have the Arch Warlock pendant and a couple upgraded books, as well as jewel and prison floors. So we are well on our way towards the end of the game here. So definitely super nice here. And obviously, you know, having the ability to jump with our horse is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I will say this. Building the tier 2 zone definitely reinforced to me how annoying it was. Oh, yep, look at that. 100% brute. Forgot about this part. Saw that guy and was like, okay, well, this is very nice. But yeah, so this run really reinforced to me how nice it is to have a progression base in Farbane, regardless of where it is. Honestly, at this point, I kind of just came to the conclusion that it almost doesn't matter where you build it. West Farbane is probably the best location, but even just anywhere in Farbane close to the caves is just such a huge advantage. It got so old running back and forth from Silverlight. It was just absolutely crazy. So there you can see we took our first break. First break of the day, or of this time here for this play session. We just took off, you know, came back on and noticed that this castle was decayed in this location here. So I went in hoping we were going to find some loot. It seemed pretty big, but whenever I came in, you know, I'm like, oh man, they must have really built a bunch of stuff here, but they just didn't really have much. I mean, planks always nice if you want to build a castle. So yeah, that's always nice. And there's barely any bricks. I mean, yeah, a decent amount. You know, 200 bricks, 200 planks or so. Pretty nice. And we broke in here, and the vampire was dead. Here's the loot from all of the stuff. I just grabbed some of it. You know, get some more cloth. Why not? A little bit more, you know, flowers. You know, like, it's not too much. Just wanted to show the little loot check here. And then for some reason, you know, just a cool 400 leather. And you loot what he has here. And check this out. I think this is the one. Look at this. Why do they have another 1,000 leather? Like, what? Who's making this leather? It's just crazy. I'm like, okay. So altogether, they had something like 1,800 leather in their castles. So, yeah, swapped out the mask there because we all know that the skull mask is superior to most of the other masks. And then saw this on my way back. I don't know what this is about. Somebody just came to my base and like died. I looked at the name and I was like, wait, what? And they were not online while I was online, which is what was so confusing. I'm like, how long have you been here just like dying? Very bizarre. So, yep, took advantage of the stuff that we found. I made a bunch of the Blood Rose brew. Always nice to have these. I figured it was time to start upgrading. Look at our wonderful prison cells here. I mean, absolutely fantastic. We got some 91% warrior just in case we need it. 90 I believe, 90%, 90%, what's it called? Scholar there. And it was time to start making some Blood Rose, or some Blood Merlot. So we are back here at the vineyard, going ahead and getting another level. We're moving right along here. Just making sure we grab all of the grapes that we possibly can while we are here, and having a 2x loot server makes that much better. Yeah, definitely love the Blood Merlot editions. And while I was here, I just went ahead and made another pit stop here in Brighthaven because I figured, you know what? At this point, I'm not going to go for leveling I don't want to level like a maniac. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get everything unlocked that I need. So if I can get everything that I need unlocked, like sanguine weapons and full blood moon, if I can get all of that stuff unlocked, then I'm not going to go ahead and grind. I didn't want to really grind anymore. It was just, at this point, I played the game so much, I'm like, grinding seems cool, but not really interested in it. So we looked here, and we got Sanguine Greatsword, and I thought, yeah, we should probably buy that. Blood Moon Boots, Sanguine Pistols, Sanguine Axes. Just trying to decide what I wanted to get. I already had slashers. I was like, okay, well, I need pistols probably, but I was like, maybe Sanguine Greatsword, and I thought, nah, let's just get pistols. I really wanted to focus more on pistols, and so only had 10 there, and what do you know, we had the Holy Resistance Flask. I'm like, okay, perfect timing. So I went back to, as I was going back to base, I thought, okay, well, now that I have everything that I need to really, I'm like getting everything I need for that late game. It's time to really start considering getting the things we need in order. So I got Blood Rose potions unlocked. I really don't think it's necessary to get them unless you want them. I don't think it's necessary to get them until you like need them. And in in-game, you definitely need them. So I wanted to get some more radium alloy cranking here, so we had to make some more empty canisters just before we left off here, and we found some guy for our Blood Merlot, and we just had to get that Blood Merlot real quick from this guy. We were working on our necklace, Blood Merlot amulet, and so here we go, Blood Merlot amulet. Get that going, and then I was like, okay, well, I really need to make sure we get ready for, what's it called? Get ready for the upgraded pendant, the Arch Warlock. So just kind of keep that in my mind. Moving up here, and we went straight to Azariel. Mostly because, I'm like, okay, 68, 6 levels lower, not too hard. One of my favorite fights, but also a very easy fight, very simple fight to me. And so I was using a Chaos Barrier this time around. Just look at this damage that I'm doing to him with it. It's just honestly crazy. Go ahead and ult him just for funsies there. But he was healing, so that was kind of annoying. I mean, he starts to heal whenever I ult him, of course. Knock out these little things here. There we go. And hit him with the Reaper. And easy peasy. So yeah, I took a little bit of damage. A little scary for a second there, but not too bad. And we leveled up to 69. Here goes with another amazing ult. Just, oh yeah. I just have to show these because it's just so satisfying. I mean, if you don't like seeing ults like that, there's something wrong with you. Yep, so from there, we were missing, I think we had boots. Yeah, we had boots in the inventory. I found them. So we had chest guard, and then we just bought gloves. We had boots already found. I was like, oh, maybe we should get these axes. So, and then we also had Witch Potion. I found Witch Potion, which is pretty nice, but I don't think I actually ended up getting any of the mats you needed to craft it. So it was like a nice gesture, but also couldn't really do anything with it. So obviously we're going to immediately get our gold going right away. And here we go. So we look at this. We got gloves and boots and chest. And discovered, didn't really get anything. Oh yeah, I discovered the crossbow. That's right. Found the crossbow. Super nice. And from here, I had to figure out what I was going to do next. We just went up to get more. I knew we were going to need a ton of radium alloy. So we just had to fill up, a bajillion of these canisters. And I figured, while I'm up here, I might as well get some more tech scrap, get some more batteries. So here's just a little quick mini montage of just hitting a billion of these scrap heaps. Scrap heaps are just a superior way to do it. And then we charge the batteries and charge more batteries. This area is, at this level, I will be honest, at level 70 is very scary. Like, getting hit once just hurts so badly. But we made it out anyway. And ran all the way back. So you can see how much gold we're cranking here. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting a ton of gold. Definitely need to start getting our sanguine weapons going where possible. So we made the pistols. And on top of that, oh, I think we also made sanguine slashers, I believe. Yes, there we go. Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't losing my mind there. And just wanted to grab some more of our stuff, getting ourselves prepped. At level 70, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do next. And I figured, there's really no, I'm not gonna farm. So why not just go for Voltatia? Very scary. I will be honest, fighting this low of a level, even when I have all like the gear, having this much of a disparity in terms of level difference is extremely difficult. Highly recommend not doing this unless you're just like a Voltatia god. This boss is now, Matka is tricky, but once you like figure her out, she's not really that hard for me. I'll show you in this run what I mean by that. But I had to reset this fight in particular, I think 2 or 3 times. It's just that difficult. I mean, you'll see just how frustrating this boss can be. I'm sure if you've played this game already and played through this a couple times, you know that she's just really an annoying boss. One thing I need to take advantage of more is probably slashers to have like Q for invincibility as well as E for dropping aggro and like repositioning so she doesn't just like laser beam you. But yeah, so popping potions, doing what we can to stay alive here. At this point, she just hits so hard. I mean, everything she hits you with just does so much damage. And then obviously the adds. I mean, right there, 49 tick damage, 49 ticks on the laser beam, 49 HP ticks every single hit is just insane. But we cleaned it up. We managed to get it done, and I knew at this point, okay, well, if I can beat Voltatia, I can beat, like, the rest of probably every other boss in this game. So I came back, and I know it sounds crazy, so if I can beat Voltatia, I can beat everybody, but I thought, if I could beat her that much lower, then how much more do I really need to grind? Like, maybe for the shard bosses, that's what I was thinking at this time. I was like, maybe for the shard bosses. But, we make the ammo to the Arch Warlock. Huge increase. This is a huge power boost, honestly. Like, an absolutely enormous power boost over the Blood Merlot Amulet. I also made the crossbow, got that going. Sanguine crossbow. Get ourselves all set up for the end of the game. I dropped off the greatsword, but, no big deal. So I'm going to show you the Matka the Curse Weaver here. I want to show this whole thing here and just how you do this. I know a lot of people struggle with this. So I was using pistols here at the beginning. Obviously, I take some damage there. My fault. Not a big deal. And this is how we want to deal with it. Keep your distance and run away. Obviously, you want to avoid all the AoEs, and it does get kind of annoying. Crossbow over trees. That's pretty nice, but it's not necessary. Those things are annoying. I mean, you're seeing I'm making mistakes. It's not like I'm doing like a perfect run. Okay, so learning this timing of this dodge is really nice, but I messed up the timing. So what do you do when you're a piggy and you mess up the timing? You run for the trees. Obviously, you want to try to avoid the AoEs, but you just run away as much as you possibly can. And you usually can run out that timer pretty easily. Look, I'm keeping all the distance. She's trying to attack me. The mosquitoes are coming after me, but look how much time I'm gaining here. So, okay, just dash away. And we're going to the other side of the map. Block this. You can block those little ground smacks. And she is definitely taking damage here. And we got the explosions. Again, I'm walking all the way to the other side. Pop a potion because I knew that if that's the thing. If you give yourself more, dash through that. There we go. Dodged at that time. If you give yourself more space, so she's like walking at you before anything happens, you can find little potion heals, which is really nice. Again, we're just swapping back to pistols. I'm kind of just swapping around weapon to weapon. These health orbs are just such a huge help. I'm already a third of the HP down. Grab the health orbs, and my max HP is now like back up to max. So if I can find a time to heal, then that would be super useful. Again, keep our distance. She's having to walk because every single second you make her have to walk to you, as a second you can just get your cooldowns back. So running away from these stupid mosquitoes, and they're all popping, doing a bunch of damage, and oh. Didn't dodge at that time. So what do? I run for the trees. I run for as far away as I possibly can without de-aggroing. Just making her spend all that time because you're moving pretty quick when you're that piggy. So, all right. And we're just dodging. We're dodging. Here comes some more stuff. All right, dodge that. Dodge that. Just keep that chaos burn going. Oh, got hit. No big deal. I'm about, 2/3 HP. And she burrows again, and so watch. These mosquitoes are attacking me. You just walk around and let them detonate, and you just keep running. Yeah, it's Blood Moon, but, you know, you can do the same thing with, like, just Rogue Blood or Movement Speed Blood. And she's going to do this again. Dodge it. There we go. Get that timing down using pistols. The more you learn the timing, the more, you know, you can dodge that and just use that opportunity to do more damage. And we're just cleaning up the fight. Not too big a deal. So we got that taken care of. Matka down. We are 6 levels lower. But obviously we have a decent, solid chunk of damage that's coming out. And we have a Blood Moon. And we have 100% Rogue Blood. So anything you can do to make it easier, by all means, do it. But I'm confident in saying that, you know, I probably could have taken care of that without that. So, and then at the end of the Blood Moon, the tail end of the Blood Moon, I decided it's time to kill Wilfred. I hadn't killed him yet. This is not necessary, but I just wanted his ult because the ult is just so strong. Honestly, I may start doing this more often. You know, before pre-Gloomrot, you had to kill him to get the greater Holy Resist potion. But you don't have to do that anymore. It's just greater Silver Resist. And if you don't need a greater Silver Resist, then, like, you don't necessarily need to fight him on level. So, I mean, you can see I'm already doing so much damage here. There's 3 guys left, and look how much damage I'm doing. I'm just like, I don't really care. Just destroy him. Fight him at a higher level makes it way easier because he already has a low HP pool, because he's designed around the idea of eating these villagers and healing himself. So, all right, so we just hit 72, and I was trying to figure out what to do from here. Came back to base, obviously got my Ghost Yarn going, and got my Blood Moon working. Made all 3 pieces here of the stuff that I had, but I really wanted to make sure that I had every single piece if possible. So I was trying to figure out how to get the last piece there. So here I'm looking through my masteries, and I was like, I don't even know what this stuff does. But look at like the mastery percentage. It's like, oh yeah, 15% mastery and on spells, and that gave me like a 0.08 cooldown. I'm like, is that like an 1/8 of a percentage of cooldown, or is it 8% cooldown? Couldn't really understand what was going on. So I started just messing around and fumbling around with this stuff. Like, okay, I'll just reset my mastery because apparently, you know, it comes back faster. You can start gaining it faster if you reset it. So, you know, just trying to figure out what to do with that. And then came back to Brighthaven again. We're trying to get the leggings, trying to get Blood Moon leggings, and it was very obnoxious trying to deal with all that. Came in here one more time to buy it, and still had chest guard and gloves, which was getting very annoying. I'm like, seriously, man, it's been chest guard boots or chest guard gloves every time. And look at this, boots again. I'm like, are you serious? Like, I literally got like 3 or 4 boots things or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, while I'm waiting, the thing was about to reset, and I figured, well, while I'm waiting for it to reset, I might as well kill Merwin just in case I want to use, you know, her stuff. So using pistols here, and again, I was trying to get some more, you know, skills with this, and look how much damage she does. This is what's so crazy. So I'm 667 max HP, and I'm on level, so I'm not even taking increased damage. And look how I'm doing tons of damage to her, but look at my health go down anyway. It honestly is crazy how much damage she does. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll do this, and yeah, still getting wrecked, but we got it taken care of. Went back to base. And from here, I was just like, man, this is getting really old. Used 2 more of our schematics and just found 2 more necklaces. And it was like, man, you know, I wasn't really sure what to do. So I came back to base, and look at this. It's going to reset, and finally got our leggings. Finally got the leggings. I'm like, okay, cool. So we got the leggings. I also got axes because I wanted to make sure that just in case I wanted those, I could take advantage of those axes that, you know, I would have them just in case I needed them, just in case I wanted them. And from there, we just went ahead and hit our garden, got a full stack of Blood Rose, basically 576. And I thought, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to get on later and grind because after this, you know, I'm going to have to deal with sticks. Just kidding. I got back on and then we got our Blood Rose stuff, filled up some bottles, made some Blood Rose potions, went ahead and bought some Wrangler potions, came back and made a bunch of Blood Merlot, and then made a couple brews of ferocity, and I was off to the Cursed Forest to fight our bro Styx. So here we go. we're going to talk about this. Even though I'm 6 levels lower, I was not worried at all. I have a lot of experience with this guy. We have, you know, it's 6 levels lower in terms of like the damage scaling or how much damage I'm taking, but I'm dealing insane damage to him, basically end game damage here. Maybe a little bit reduced, but not by much. So I'm just going to quickly walk through how we fight this guy for those who don't know. I have a bunch of guides on this. I've talked through it a bunch, but we'll walk through it here again. We are dodging that perpendicular. Whenever he winds up like this, just use a barrier to block it. Chaos Barrier, probably the best option. Reaper does huge damage, especially if you block him in it. Very, very nice to do that. Whenever you see him charge up like this, he's sending the bat swarms. Just walk backwards, you'll dodge it. When he dashes through you, he's coming in for a perpendicular strike. I'm sorry, for a strike on you. Half HP, he summons the gremlins, and this is how we take care of gremlins. You ready for this? Throw a Reaper, use your shield. Look at that. Throw the Reaper down whenever they're about to attack you and use your shield. It will absolutely delete them, or you can just hit them with good aim like that. Reaper, shield. There we go. And all of the gremlins are completely deleted. So here comes Styx again. We're using Reaper as much as we can, walking backwards. He's going to dash through us. We walk perpendicular, just strafe it, and we're going to dodge that every time. I know it's scary, but that's how you do it. Throw the Reaper down, use your shield on his spin to win. And he's using his little Bat Swarm ult. This is why we like to use this move, Octavian ult, just to do some damage here. Switch to our crossbow or pistols, whichever you like. A little bit of ranged damage, and we... Oh, dodge this. There we go. And we're done. Very, very simple. Honestly, that fight is... it's one of my favorite fights now. I actually used to despise it, but I've spent so much time doing it that it's kind of burned into my brain, and I actually really enjoy it. And from there, I was 74, and you know what? I was just trying to think... I was thinking, you know what? I have no desire to grind. 74, I beat Styx. So let's just go try our luck with the shard bosses. So I built a base here because I actually had, I had a recipe that I wanted. I didn't want to lose. And so we just went up here and I realized, oh man, I don't have anything with cleanse, do I? And then it turns out I actually had a semi-okay gem for Blood Rage that had cleanse on it. And I thought, that's good enough. We'll see what we can do. Even though I'm only, I'm like 9 or whatever this is, 7 levels lower than Winged Horror. I figured, you know what, let's go for it. And so we started off here with our crossbow. Obviously, we're dodging the little fire breath. Throwing the Reaper when he lands on it. Dodging this little dash. That's probably the most dangerous thing in the beginning of this fight, is just dodging that dash. Make sure you save your dash for that, if at all possible. He's going to start walking at you. It's very scary and annoying because he wants to slash you, but I'm not really sure what makes him determine, how he determines whether he's going to slash you or jump away. Really difficult to weave in between there, but, there we go. And again, I'm using crossbow at this point. And then I decided, I believe like halfway through the fight, I was like, I kind of want to change. If I said I was going to use pistols, I might as well start using pistols. So again, I'm using crossbow here for a little bit, just to do some damage. Just whittling him down at the beginning of the fight, walking away from him. He jumps back. What do you know? And he dashes and got hit by that. Very strong hit. Very annoying. If I had been using pistols, I could have probably dodged through it. And here he goes, breathing his flames yet again. Yet again, we're breathing flames, my friend. And he's dashing, so I dash out of that. So I'm using pistols. You'll see here that I'm still not comfortable with like the range, exactly what the range is on these pistols. Especially in this fight, you'll see it's like I'm like barely outside of max range. And the really fun part here, just popping some blood mend, waiting for him to land. And I realized he's probably going to land on me, so I dodged. Threw a little Reaper there so we could walk into it. There goes his Frost Vortex. And we have this here. Dash through it. Go to the edge and dash through. Walk through that. I probably should have pressed E with pistols there, but no big deal. HP's looking pretty good. Our max HP is like solid. Alright. And he's going to start breathing fire, so I'm going to have to start like trying to avoid that. Walking between the flame pools. There we go. And look at that. I'm just barely missing that, so I hit him with Q. Q is just such a big burst of damage. It's really nice. All right, he's using his little spin to win tail. That's very dangerous. Dodge that. Again, probably could have E'd with pistols through that instead. I try to E through this, and I dodge some of them, but get hit by another one for 96 damage. Pretty big chunk. Or 76 damage, sorry. Found a little potion pop there. I figured, you know, I'm just going to keep my health up as high as it goes. I don't want to risk anything, because if you've seen this fight, if you get charged and you miss, all it takes is a single mistake against his charge and getting hit by it, or like the frost vortex there, and you can like just lose instantaneously, especially if I'm 7 levels lower. Keep going here, using some attacks there. Dash through this. Easy dodge. Keep him burning. Oh, here comes the ice. And we can spin through that. No big deal. And he uses slash on the backside. So that was really annoying. He actually used it twice. Dash through. See, I'm still missing all of that. It's very, very frustrating to miss pistol shots because I'm just barely out of range. Whereas crossbow definitely would hit him in that situation. Just because I'm used to crossbow over pistols. There we go. Again, I got hit by that. Definitely could have dodged through it. It's just me being dumb. But we just broke his health orbs, and we are back to full health. This is his second pass. He's going to do 2 of these passes here. So we did 1. Here comes the second. And here comes the final dive bomb. Just dodging out of the way. Don't want to get hit by that, obviously. Saving dash here for something like this if I need to. Just to be safe here, but he got confused and he missed me, so dash out of the way of that. And I didn't have anything to dash through that, so I just backpedaled, and luckily I was fast enough to dodge it, but that junk would have really hurt if I wasn't able to dodge that. And here we go, breathing more fire onto the ground, and we have now seen every one of his moves that matter. You know, he's used every one of his abilities at this point. He only has one more thing, which is his third, the 3 passes, which is coming up here. So we're just continually doing this. That right there is why you have to just backpedal as much as possible. There we go. Dodged at that time with the pistol. I was like, oh yeah, I have pistol E. I could probably do that. Just avoiding all this. Not too big a deal. Sucked me into the middle. Definitely brutal. See, I got hit there, but I actually managed to cleanse the stun with Blood Rage. So I'm taking pretty big damage here because of those mistakes. So we definitely want to tighten up a bit as he's doing his little flying into the sky here. Just went ahead and pop a potion. We absolutely do not want to get hit by anything else at this point, because one good strong chunk and we will be in very dangerous territory. But he's doing his 3rd pass now. So he's going to do 3 passes. That was the first one. Here's the second one. And here comes the 3rd one. All right, so we managed to keep it all on this side for the most part. So now he's going to crash land on this end. We just want to keep that chaos burn going. And we're going to go for more damage, just missing our range a little bit on that. Roll out of the way. Which I don't really know why those didn't blow up there. It was very odd. I noticed that mid-fight. I was like, wait, why did that not, like, explode? His little, like, big jump double wave thing. So, pop this out here, and he starts hitting me a little bit here. Definitely does some decent damage, but I wasn't too concerned. At this point, he was getting pretty low. There we go. Use our dash to dodge that. Again, could have used Pistol E as well. Probably would have been smarter to use Pistol E in that situation. Definitely would have been probably a little safer. Didn't get hit by that anyway. He's getting pretty low at this point. It definitely didn't need to get hit by that. I should have. Again, I'm at this point, I'm really just like, my brain's just not functioning, I guess. I'm just like hyper focused on doing the damage and using the stuff that I know. But I definitely need to start using Pistol E more to dodge the things that are easily dodgeable with it. All right, we're just walking through here. He's slapping his wings, dodging all this. Dodging that too. And we are basically at the end here. He's going to breathe his little fire, and we're going to hit him one more time. There we go. One little volley. And there he is. That is the Winged Horror. down. 7 levels lower. Again, we have the, the gear to have increased HP as well as, a little bit more damage. But we do take a lot of damage in this fight with this level disparity. So we grabbed the shard, got a level, grabbed the shard. We came back up here, threw it down, got the boost. And of course, what are we going to do next? Make our Sanguine Axes, because I prefer to have Sanguine Axes for Gore Crusher, and made a bunch of Blood Merlot. And we went back up to the Cursed Forest to start our fight with Gore Crusher. And here you can see how much damage we're doing. Just so much damage. Again, even though now I believe we are... Oh wait, the other one was 9 levels lower. I said 8. We were 9 levels lower. Or what, I don't even remember what number I said. 7 maybe. I think we were 9. And this one we are 8 levels lower. Again, like I said, I'm pretty confident with this fight. So even though I just got yeeted there, I wasn't too worried about it. He is definitely a challenging fight, but there's like... Before he starts summoning all of his crazy summons, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to find, like, spots to heal at this point of the fight. Like this right here, all I would have to do is just run away and avoid this, and then I could heal here. And then I realized, oh wait, I don't have my shroud on. So I swapped my shroud on right there. I'm like, I should probably do that. Really quick. Dodge one way. Yep, there we go. So we strafe one way. At this point, he's attacking my clone. Strafe this way. When he commits, strafe the other way. Super easy to dodge in that way if you can just learn that timing. There we go. He's going to jump. So, I decided I was going to use pistols for this fight as much as I could. I was like, I really got to get used to using these pistols, man. I wanted to do it, so I might as well learn how to do it. So, I'll just keep backpedaling here. If it didn't want to get hit by that chunk there, so he's going to charge and strafe one way, back the other, strafe one way, and back the other. Super simple. Again, we are just worrying about these very basic stuff, these very basic attacks here. We've seen these a billion times. Pistols doing 120 damage from 1Q, super nice. And with these guys, we swap to our axes. Now, this is something I wasn't expecting here. Look how much damage these things do. Because I'm such a low level, because I'm 8 levels lower. I think like a single hit from the wolf does like 100 damage or something at this point. Look at this. Oh, it didn't hit me there. Yeah, 108 damage from that. I was like, whoa. When that hit me, I'm like, oh, okay, hold on a second. We gotta like recover. That was a little brutal. So we are trying to find a point here that we can heal up if we need to. But I also knew that we still had the health orbs coming, so I wasn't super concerned. So back to our pistols. There's that potion. Found that little potion there. And we're back up to the max health that we have available to us. And with the health orbs, I knew it was going to be easy. So whenever he pulls his arm back like that, and he doesn't shine blue, it means he's going to just like jab at you. And that you just kind of want to dash away from most of the time. Here we go. There's the health orbs. And go ahead and grab these. Nice. And so we're basically back up at full HP at this point. So he still has not he still hasn't summoned his duplicate. Here comes some more duos here, or here more of these summons here. Using those axes to do big damage is nice, but look how much damage I'm taking. Again, I was like not respecting the summons because it's just like, oh, it's a wolf and a bear, who cares? They were doing 92 damage with a swipe right there. I just was not expecting that. I'm like, man, I need to get a potion off right now. Block this. And we are below HP here. So here was a sad mistake here is I started using pistols and stuff, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I don't have a shield to block all these things. Ooh, got hit by that. Big chunk, 150 damage. So looking for more potion heals here. And we're working him down pretty well. He just hits so hard. So basically with this fight, if you're going to do it under leveled, you just really need to know the fight well enough that you know how to dodge as much as you possibly can, as consistently as you can. Know where you can find spots for your potions to pop potion heals, and then just be ready for the end, because the end can be very dangerous. And the end is this part here. So now he's in his little summon form, shooting at these wisps. These wisps, by the way, if you don't know this, these wisps hit ridiculously hard. Especially if you're this low of a level. Highly recommend you don't touch the wisps. You're going to see in a second, I believe I get hit by one, and it just does obscene amounts of damage. But luckily the clone still takes crazy damage, so there we go. Look at that. 200 something damage. I got charged into a wisp, did like 290 damage or something ridiculous. So I get hit by 2 moves, and I went from like max to half. And so now I was like a little bit of panicking there. I got hit by that other move, and I was like, okay, stop freaking out. I've done this fight a billion times. Take your time. Just heal up with a potion whenever you can. And, you know, focus the spirit down. Get the stupid thing gone again. Just pop an ult. Why not? Here we go. Just use use our barrier to catch a couple of those. We don't want to get hit by them, so be very careful with that. Here we go. Dodge that, and he's summoning his buddy is coming back yet again. And I was like, I really need to make sure I'm doing damage to Gore Crusher, so I just like avoid. I don't want it to be a battle of attrition, because of battle of attrition, I'm probably gonna lose because he's doing 150 damage per hit. You know, so I'm like, okay, I really need to make sure that like. I just am making sure that he's like at least chaos burning as much as possible. And here comes another summon. Some spirit summons here. And I was respecting them more here. I think I still got hit anyway. I was like respecting them, but I was like, but I really want to clear them out before, you know, everything comes up here. And so here comes Gore Crusher. There we go. Actually, we did end up clearing him out there, so that's good. Other summon goes down, and by this point, Gore Crusher is so low that I just was not worried anymore, and I knew I had it here. And with one more move, and we are good to go. And there you have it. Gore Crusher down. That is 8 levels lower. Big damage. I mean, 150 damage hits is just nothing. Not something you want to mess with. So definitely be careful as you're doing this. If you ever try to do this early in your run, you just need to have a really big knowledge of how to do it. So obviously from here, we just went ahead and threw our stuff on, got the other shard back, and got the buff there. And we started to craft. So this part here, I was trying to get the gems that I wanted with Bloodright. I really wanted to do like invisibility with Bloodright, but I did quite a few of these. I think I ended up doing a total of 4. I mean, that's not quite a few, but, you know, like the chances of not getting any invisibility in any of those 4 is pretty low. And so eventually I got to the point where I was like, I guess I'll just use whatever my best one is. And the one I had was okay. Yeah, here it is. So it does increase more damage, and then like my next attack was going to be more damage. And that was about it. So no invisibility off my Bloodright, but I figured let's just try it. Made a ton of Blood Merlot with our Scholar here because I wanted to see if I could like feed him up to 100 from 90, and unfortunately at 93 he died. So made the rest of our Blood Rose potions, some more Blood Rose brew. I just wanted to have every single amount of healing that I possibly could for this fight, so that there would be no issues, that I could restart as many times as I wanted to. So I'm level 76 here. He's level 83, and I decided, all right, it's time to use pistols. I started out doing slashers here. Just because I was like, I'm just going to use what I know, what I'm comfortable with. We use slashers. And here's the first attempt here. Look at that damage. 238 damage. That was immediately, I was like, okay, got to back out. Let's restart there. So yeah, fighting Adam 7 levels lower like this, even though we had the end game damage and like abilities and stuff, we're still taking that much more damage. 238 damage with one attack like that is just bonkers. So it's just, this is definitely like Gore Crusher. If you don't know what this fight is, you have to be very careful. So here I was decided I'm really going to start using these pistols. This one hurt. Look at that. Yeeted into the lightning beam. And then I got hit again. I tried to pop a potion, got hit right there, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't looking good. I don't have." And then I got zapped by the lightning. 106 damage from a lightning zap. I mean, everything just hits so hard. 80 damage twice, and I was like, "Okay, that's it. I'm out." Had to dodge this. Taking our time here, being very careful. And do we make it out here? We do make it out. So we had to reset there. I mean, as you can see, every hit, it doesn't really matter if my damage is like good if I take 1 billion damage when I get hit. So from here, I swapped off of Rogue Blood to Brute Blood. Because I figured, you know, it's going to give me 1 extra gear score level. So maybe just going from that 7 level difference to 6 level difference, it should actually help a lot. And it does actually help because it does, I believe it moves you into another tier of like how much damage you can take is. So that from 7 to 6, I think. I could be wrong. So here, yeah, it's only 75 damage this time instead of 100 damage. So, you know, that's nice. So we went ahead and did this fight here with pistols. And I will say also, the other thing that Brute Blood with pistols feels so good is the attack speed is like pretty nuts. You can also see here with that Veil of Blood heal, whenever you hit him with the Veil of Blood and he's like, has leech on him and everything. I mean, I'm healing for 51 HP with 1 attack. So super nice with Brute Blood to do that. So again, this attack speed just lets you weave those attacks, a few more attacks in very easily. And it was like, right as I saw how that was working, I thought, okay, as long as I don't make any major mistakes, 94 damage from that lightning bolt, you know. But yeah, I was thinking, as long as I don't make any major mistakes, I should be okay here. So for the rest of this phase, I'm just going to kind of talk you through how to go about fighting him. What I do anyway. All right, so keep our distance, but not too much because obviously he's going to dash to you. You can use iframes to dodge that stomp, whether it be a dash or a weapon ability. When he does this lightning here, this is very annoying. This is where iframes come in handy, like this with blood counter or invisibility. Doesn't give you iframes, but it makes it easy to dodge. Go ahead and dodge those things here. Whenever he pulls this out, I like to shoot these things and just open up more space. I don't find that more space is necessary in the first phase, but more space makes it significantly easier. So it's not necessary, but it does make it a lot easier. One thing you can do as well, by the way, is just track how many times he has done his little like 1, 2, 3 attack. This one, 1, 2, 3. So if you track this and you see like, oh, it's been a while since he's like done his stomp and his grab like this, it's usually about 2 to 3 times. If he's done this 2 to 3 times, chances are he's going to go for, or obviously he did, you know, a shield there. But if he's done like 2 to 3 attacks, chances are he's going to go for a grab or a stomp. See, here's the grab. So that was 3 attacks, and here's the stomp. Hit me anyway, kind of annoying. I was just wanting to pick those health orbs up because usually they would despawn before I could even take advantage of them. So I just use them whenever I can. Dodging out of the way to this. All right, so he's done about 3 attacks, and there's the grab. Dash through him. Get hit a couple times, very annoying, no big deal. Here's the stomp. So yeah, it's about 2 to 3 attacks he'll grab and then stomp around there. And then whenever he does this little charge up move, I like to use my ult here, the Octavian ult, because it gives you iframes and enormous damage. Dodge this real quick. I'm taking a little bit of shock damage here. Opening up more space. Definitely dangerous. So that was scary right there. I thought, do I need to reset? I wanted to reset, but I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to go for it. You know, if I get hit maybe one more time, we'll try. You know, we might want to reset. But I thought, you know, I'm actually doing really well, and that sucks. But, like, I just need to be smarter with my attack. You can see how much health I'm healing, how much sustain I have with Veil of Blood and whatnot. So I figured, you know what? 445 max HP here. We're out of the first phase. Let's just see what happens. This is pretty solid. And so we're going to go from here. Q was a little early. Very obnoxious on that. So this attack, 1, 2, 3, he goes attack, attack, and then he goes behind you and attacks straight. So you can like, if you can like iframe or block the first 2 hits of that double slash, you can then just, whenever he teleports behind you, nothing personnel kid, you can just dodge like perpendicular to whatever his attack is going to be. Here is where dashes and invisibility is super nice. I use the slasher invisibility just to get away from the lightning thing. All right, so we have these stupid things. Oh, there we go. That's why I like Blood Right for that move, especially. I mean, for many moves. So here is really scary. I barely made it out. I got a little bit of damage. So iframe, attack, we strafe. See that? So you block the first one, iframe, you let him attack that. But look at this. He hits me into this. And I was like, dude, I did not expect the attack range to be that high. Barely got my counter off in time to block the two little lightning beams. So now my HP is 300. It's looking pretty dicey. But, and look at that. I don't know why that happened. Very weird. Barely dodged that. But the lightning orbital laser just like decided to attack, to speed up. I don't know if it was because I was too far away, but it was kind of annoying. And so here I was like, I figured, okay, I need to be very careful here. Very, very careful. So I swapped the slashers for just a second. And then I thought, it's just too weak. I need pistols. Slashers are just way too weak. They do barely do any damage. So we dashed out of the way of this. Use our iframes on the E to go ahead and dodge this. Don't want to get grabbed for sure. He spawns these things here. So I have my ult, but I was like, I'm going to wait a little bit on the ult to find a really good one. Iframe, attack. Iframe out of that for sure. Very, very spooky there. So here's the shield. I wanted to make sure the shield was gone before I ulted. And yeah, I popped the potion there because even though I only had barely any life missing, I wanted to make sure that I could get like, you get like an attack speed and movement speed. You get that blood buff is just so nice. And I figured, what else am I going to use my blood rose potions for? As a one healing tick, what else am I going to use them for? Pistols to dodge out of that. Keep our damage going here, and we have this little attack here. Iframe, strafe it, dodge. Go ahead with the Q. Q is a lot of damage. And here comes the barrier. All we were waiting for is one more little thing here. Attack, dodge, strafe. See that? All right, we're going to this part here. So I thought, okay, let's open up some more space. Definitely want more space here. Iframe out of it. Do not want to get stomped by that. You'll just die basically instantly. And he did this little charge up where he did the lightning thing, so we ulted him, and that is Adam the Firstborn down. A lot of laser beams, a lot of lightning going off everywhere, but super excited about this kill. Again, like I said, I have in-game stuff, but it's Adam, you know, and I'm with Brute Blood. I was technically what, 6 levels lower, so just very satisfied with that kill, especially with using pistols so much, because I was like, okay, now I'm feeling confident like maneuvering with the pistols and finding those attacks. Brute Blood is just such a huge deal. So big on that. So anyway, so we just took the, walk of victory back to our base, using the moves here, the classic moves of Power Surge and stuff. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be it for this run. I just wanted to make this a 2-part quick series, just breaking down the whole thing. Really enjoyed the RPG mod. I feel like if it was going to be perfect, I think to make the RPG mod perfect, in my opinion, it would need a lot more control by an admin to do things like, for instance, if you could make world events happen, maybe time gate some of the areas so you couldn't like leave Farbane right away. Maybe have like upgraded bosses so the bosses are like higher level, so they're significantly harder. When I think about an RPG, whenever you have to fight like a key boss to progress, generally if it's a good RPG, those bosses are like very difficult. And when it comes to V Rising, obviously Quincy's like, okay, well, he is a little bit more difficult compared to the other bosses in tier 1, but he's still Quincy, And so I think it would be interesting if it was like, okay, well, let's just increase his HP. Now, you can keep him the same level if you want, but like increase Quincy's max HP or like the boss's HP, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. And then, like I said, have events would be really cool. Maybe like a traveling trader. There's a lot of really cool things that I've seen on other servers, like Embrace the Suck and some other servers. So, but regardless, like I said, I definitely enjoyed this run. If you are looking for a fun mod, I would highly recommend trying an RPG mod out. There's a lot of servers that wipe with it. So definitely look into doing that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this run. It was really fun to do. So, yep, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will catch you in the next one.